Right.
Well, I think instead of the crowd, I'm not really too worried about the environment that we're going into. I'm worried about that scrambling quarterback. This is the first time we played a scrambling quarterback who can actually pass the ball with some accuracy. I mean, you look at Brent Schaefer, and he was horrible when he played against us. You look at Vanderbilt's quarterback, he was horrible. But one thing they could do, they got rushing yards. And I think that with a quarterback who can run and throw a decent pass is going to be a little bit of trouble for the Hogs.
And Carolina played Tennessee to a one-possession game last week. However, they did beat Carolina in net yards, third down percentage, time of possession, first downs, also had fewer penalties. So overall, you look at that game, and it was really turnovers that made the biggest difference in that game. And Carolina had a lot of close games this year. Carolina 5 yards away from beating Auburn the week before we did it, and they're really a tough team. And if you look at their schedule, it's going to be tough for them to do anything. They've already had Georgia, Auburn, Tennessee. They're going to play us. They still got LSU and Clemson up there. So, I mean, they're certainly, I think, a lot more, battle-tested than we are at this point, I really think.
Well, they may be more battle-tested, but they have 4 games, like you said. They have Arkansas, Clemson, Florida, and then they have Middle Tennessee State. All right, so they're going to get that for their 6th win and go to a bowl game. But what I'm talking about is they played Wofford early in the year, and those who don't know, that's a Division II team. Okay, Wofford ran for 268 yards against South Carolina's defense, and I guarantee you that Wofford didn't have a Darren McFadden or Felix Jones, or even a Michael Smith or Hezekiah Smith.
Perhaps, but Tennessee, they held Tennessee to only 71 rushing yards last week.
And they're not giving up too many points. I mean, I think they're averaging 14 or 15 points a game and for their defense, and that's not too bad at all. So we'll see how it goes.
Like Chase said, I am kind of worried about that quarterback. He's just played too many positions. He's very versatile with the run.
If you see a picture of Justin's face, he look really fat too. I don't know if any of y'all you seen him.
Yeah, I have.
He looks fat in the face,
anyway. Baby face even.
Hey, as someone representing the fat people of America, I take offense to that comment.
Hey man, I'm right there with you, baby.
He didn't say it was a bad thing.
Just saying, he looked fat in the face.
Well, last week, it's hard to take a negative when you win like they did last week or with the final score you see that, but there were a lot of things in there. I think Hogs fans might have worried about. The one thing I really questioned, some odd 330 rushing yards last week, only about 97 passing yards, and they didn't really let Casey Dick particularly air it out. Mitch had 18 attempts. Casey went 2 for 4 last week, and I really wonder, after Mitch had thrown those interceptions, they put Casey in, why didn't they turn him loose? Do you guys have an answer for that?
I mean, the whole point of him coming in was just so Mitch wouldn't continue to look bad for the team. I mean, they got to protect Mitch. Anytime Mitch is going to start to mess up, you're going to see Casey come in because they want him to have minimal interceptions on the season. They want to justify their decision of putting him in over Robert Johnson and Casey Dick. So they're going to do their best to make him look good. And anytime you see him screw up at all, someone else is going to come in.
Are they trying to protect them? I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything, but Bo Mattingly of KNWA said earlier this week that they're relegating Mitch Mustang to just go into his primary receiver. They're not letting him go through his progressions. Now that's a big thing for a quarterback who has won since the 8th grade, basically. Why would they be handicapping him? I'm not suggesting anything. I'm not suggesting a Casey Dick controversy, but it's just something to put out there. But I'll get back to that in a minute. But JJ's on the phone from Fayetteville. JJ, how are you doing tonight?
Pretty good.
Well, that's awesome, buddy. You're on with the Sports Advantage.
Oh, thank you. I got 2 questions to ask you. Now, one is for the men's basketball, okay? The question number 1 for the men's basketball. Do you think that we're going to have a better team as last year since we lost last year? Do you think that we're going to have a better team to be in the NCAA for the tournament of this year? Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, about the Arkansas Razorback football team. Now, just like I told everybody else, okay, we're going to beat every single team every single Saturday. Wherever who we play, we're going to beat them. And after that, we're going to be the SEC champion. And I'm hoping we're going to beat them. Now, the question is do you think that we're going to have a good team of this year for the football, even the quarterback? And if the quarterback is injured, do you have a backup plan for the quarterback injury? And the third question, about the cheerleaders. The woman in the green. Do you think that the cheerleaders is going to be celebrate for the championship? That's the only 3 questions I have.
All right, well, we appreciate your call. Where do we start? You want to jump over to basketball real quick?
Sure. He asked if we're going to have a better team, and I certainly don't think so. You don't lose a Ronnie Brewer and Jonathan Modick and Eric Ferguson. Thank goodness Dontel Jefferson's gone, but that's a different story.
I agree. We're better in that he's gone.
Absolutely, but I was checking out.
I'm thinking too. I have class with him, so therefore.
Ouch. Bracketography.com, which is the most accurate bracket projection website since 1998, has Arkansas as the 67th team in the tournament. That means we're 2 spots out. Georgia's just ahead of it in the 65-team Big Dance. So it's obviously not going to be predicted for us to be better than last year since we did get into the NCAA tournament.
I absolutely disagree. I think based on seeing the team play twice, red and white game, I know that doesn't count, but that's something. I just really think that the incoming class really is going to step up. And, I mean, I just really think that we have a good chance of making it maybe second round on.
No, absolutely not. I have to think that we're not as good, first of all.
Have you seen them yet, Casey?
I have. I've gone to practices, and I've talked to the team as well. I mean, after just knowing what's going on with these guys.
Game situation.
Well, and first of all, just knowing that, like he said, I mean, you want to talk about the rebuilding or we reloading or things like that. That doesn't mean anything. You do actually have to replace these people in spite of what Stan Heath tells you. And maybe it's not replace that person in this system. Whenever you lose caliber of players that are lottery picks like Ronnie Brewer and team leaders like you had with Ferguson and Monica, you're going to have to account for that. Now, are we capable of a first-round loss in the tournament, which is what we did last year? Certainly. I think the team we had last year was better off than that, but they're certainly going to have to play as a team, and you're really going to need a lot of people who aren't proven and who don't really have the chemistry, or at least haven't shown that in game situations on tough games. And Stan Heath's still going to have to win on the road.
I mean, I agree. I mean, I don't think we're going to be better than we were last year, but I certainly don't think we're going to be horrible. I mean, y'all starting to give me the impression that y'all don't think the team's going to be able to do the thing, baby. Come on now. Y'all don't got faith? I mean, Derek Irvin is like the best true point guard we've had in a really long time.
I think, hey, are we better than last year? I mean, that's saying if you look on what you want to go with, bottom line, first-round loss to Bucknell, are we better than that? I think maybe we're as good as that, but are you talking about going a couple rounds deep into the tournament?
I think we'll make
They're gonna have to show
second round at least.
I hope they do.
I'm not saying we're better. I don't think
anybody.
we're better than last year, but I mean, you talk about the people we had leave who were like some key critical guys, but we still got we got Stephen Hill who all them blocks he be getting B fouls. Those B fouls, but they be counting them as blocks. You got Darian Towns who be scoring. You got Charles Thomas who be scoring. I mean, I think they're gonna be all right. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't make the tournament.
Chase,
I'm not gonna say that.
Do they have a coach?
I mean, he should be fired right along there with Coach Nutt. But hey,
you're not going to win without a coach. We should have got Bob Huggins. For anybody who wants to know who we should have got, we should have got Bob Huggins.
Oh yes, let's get someone here who's going to have a DWI. Let's just get the Sacramento Kings coach.
And is that any of my business?
No, but still, we don't want someone in here that's going to put a bad mark on this.
No, you know as well as I do, winning cures everything. You can go out and do what you want to do, and we'll look the other way. Cop sees him and he's drunk and he's winning here in Fayetteville. You don't hear about it because he doesn't get a